Okay, Mom. We're all here. Okay.
How much protein does our body really need? How many carbohydrates does our body need to provide our energy? Does our body need fat, and how much? What about milk products? How about fruits and vegetables? How many do we need? These are all questions addressed by the food pyramid. I want to discuss the food pyramid in terms of the food groups, including what they are, how they've changed over the years, who uses them, and the complaints about the food pyramid. Overall, we know the food pyramid is a valuable tool in the world of nutrition. It's a starting point, per se. It is the most prominent American nutritional chart. It's literally a pyramid shape, broken down into sections showing the foods in each group. Breads and cereals, fruit, vegetable, dairy, meat, and fats. It's an easy visual tool to interpret for the kids, elderly, adults, and no matter what language that you speak. Back in 1862, our government realized that as food choices became more diverse, people didn't know how much of what foods to eat to stay healthy. That's when they developed the first chart. It was a graphical table. It was more focused on variety than portion because all the portions were exactly the same size. There were 8 of them. The food chart changed 3 more times, went down to 7, to 4, then back to 5, before it became the food pyramid. That's when proportion came into play. And when proportion came into play, the test reveals that people had a hard time understanding how to use the pyramid in terms of nutritional concepts and nutritional value. That is when the article The Pyramid Scheme came out by Alison Perlman in 2011. She discussed how the government ran many tests. They used a food bowl, a plate, a grocery cart to see consumer response. These ideas were tested again and again, and illustrations were posted in large papers like US Today. But in the end, the food pyramid was considered to be the best way of communicating nutritional value, and that was released in 1991. After years of criticism from different parties, and I'll discuss that next, the pyramid changed once again. It went through over 33 design changes, mostly cosmetic, and they came up with My Pyramid. It was customizable. You could personalize it according to age, sex, level of physical activity. It was a very modern website, and it was www.mypyramid.gov. That changed once again, and we currently are using ChooseMyPlate.gov. It's the new how-to for determining food choices. It shows what your plate should look like. It can be found at www.choosemyplate.gov. That's the history. As I mentioned, there's been much criticism about the pyramid over the years. Why would anyone criticize such a great tool? Most of the negativity is centered around the placement of the food groups. The vegans thought dairy should be downgraded as well as meats. The physicians wanted to see more fruits and vegetables. Dentists were concerned with the amount of carbohydrates, as that's sugar on our teeth. And then the farmers and ranchers also fought for the biggest spot. The dairy industry felt that they were guilty by association when put next to the fat section. They all recognized their placement on the much advertised food pyramid was in direct correlation to their sales and success. Throughout all this, the good thing that did result was a lot of research on their part, and that was eventually submitted and reviewed by the government to make decisions on the final nutritional values. So the other argument was that the bad foods were at the top. Now this was supposed to visually show consumers that they needed less of these foods as the slot was smaller. But people argued that the best is usually at the top, so they felt that people would confuse the worst foods for being the best. Basically, that it was upside down. And that's how the side-by-side pyramid came into play. And the farmers and ranchers were happy with the side-by-side, but the doctors, nutritionists, and disease control centers were disgruntled. They felt that it appeared all the food groups were equally healthy. So are the people complaining the ones that are using the food pyramid? No, not directly. We see the pyramid in different places. The first time that we were introduced to it was probably in grade school. The government felt that it's important that young children learn what their bodies need to stay healthy. They may not be getting these well-balanced meals at home. We also are exposed to the pyramid at our doctor's office. Many physicians feel it's important to discuss the food pyramid with patients, the elderly, and people that have special illnesses. We also see the food pyramids posted at our gym or other nutritional or weight loss centers, and it's always a good reminder to eat a balanced diet. In conclusion, I've found a poster that I really think sums up the whole purpose of the food pyramid. It says, "The food you eat can be the safest form of medicine or the slowest form of poison," by Ann Wigmore. And I really feel that's what the government was saying, eat healthy to stay healthy. Over the years, a vast amount of research has been done on the food pyramid and how it fuels our body. And this research resulted in many changes in the food pyramid and is supposed to help guide us to our best health. We talked about the different entities involved in all the criticism, and the government has several reasons for wanting us to stay healthy. But I think that it's more important that we utilize the food pyramids because we want to be healthy. We also discussed where we can see the food pyramids as well as a current website to personalize our own food plate. So let's all utilize these resources and eat healthy. Thank you for your time and listening to my speech on the food pyramid.